There's a massive shift, and it's happening right now in dating, and particularly in 2026, and really honestly, before that, where men aren't just taking a break from dating, they're permanently retiring from dating. And for the first time, modern women are the ones being forced to compete for a shrinking pool of guys who simply don't care anymore.
Nobody has the balls to say this, but it's important. This is the number one problem with Western marriage today. If a judge can seize your assets, freeze your accounts, and cage you for non-compliance, why is only one side enforceable? See, you're compelled to provide, you're compelled to protect, and you're compelled to pay for infinity. She can withdraw affection, withdraw intimacy, withdraw everything, and the state still shows up for her with guns. Why isn't intimacy mandatory? That's state-backed asymmetric violence. Men are bound by law, but women are just bound by their moods. If only one side can be punished, marriage is just a trap enforced at gunpoint and dressed in vows.
I don't want custody, and he could opt out.
If it's like legal and informed and like, both sides know what they're agreeing to, I would
No,
support
the
that.
other side, the woman doesn't have to agree to that. In any here's my position. Hold on, let me explain it. In any state where a woman has a right to get an abortion, I think a man ought to have a corresponding right to what I like to call, some people call it a paper abortion, what I prefer to call a legal paternal surrender. So the man could say, well, if you have a right to an abortion, but you're opting to keep the child, I have a corresponding right to say, well, I don't want to be custodially responsible. I don't want to be financially responsible for the child.
I would agree with that.
You'd be in favor of that.
What I mean is the woman should know if he is doing that.
Right, but what I'm saying...
he shouldn't be able to hide it. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, so like make a disclosure.
Yeah.
Why aren't men getting married anymore? It's not because they hate love or they're against love. It's because the system is actually stacked against them. In 1960, 72% of adults were married, and today it's barely 50%. And among men under 30, it's pretty much nowhere. Here's why. Divorce courts, they'll take all of the man's money, they'll take the kids, they'll take the house. 90% of child custody goes to women, and men pay millions in child support and alimony every year. Then there's the happy wife, happy life culture where men sacrifice everything to keep the peace. Meanwhile, if a man wants traditional roles, it's labeled as toxic. So men naturally ask themselves, what is the upside? And for a lot of guys, there isn't one. It's not that men in general hate commitment. They hate commitment to a system that is designed to punish them for existing. Till marriage becomes a partnership and not a legal liability, men will continue to keep saying, no thanks. Do you think men are right to walk away from the thought of marriage, or do you think that marriage is still worth it? Let me know in the comments.
These white women, they saw the vision.
Yep.
They like, look, I see where this is going. I've studied this. Kevin Samuels already exposed how they have courses and shit.
Facts.
They're reading books and shit on how to get these type of men. They actually work to get these men. They know this is a competition.
Yep.
I'm going to outcompete the competition and get chose. And this is why they're getting chose. When you talk to black women, they are repulsed at the word competition.
Yeah.
I tell black women
They the
all
table.
the fucking time, you got to compete for the man you want. Compete? He can have that bitch. Well, guess what? That draft day, he's having the bitch.
Women are always in competition with men. It's like, even on my post when I said, oh, you should celebrate your man when he comes home. And they're like, the woman should be celebrated too, hun. Like, you should learn to love yourself. Make sure he's celebrating you too. I'm like, okay. And they're like, I've been married 12 years. I'm like, okay, I've been married 14 years. They're like, well, you need to learn to love yourself because based off your post, I'm like, no, what the fuck have y'all been doing in y'all marriages for 12 and 15 years to where y'all feel like y'all shouldn't be celebrating your husband still? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, you know what I mean? But they're like, you need to learn to love yourself. I'm like, I play badminton, I go to the gym, I go to brunch, I take very good care of myself, I get massages. I don't see where I'm not loving myself. Like, what else am I supposed to be doing? Like, so, but that just reminds me of Mother's Day and Father's Day. Mother's Day, women get all these gifts. They don't want no kids around. They just want this, this, and this, and this. They're treated like a princess. Father's Day, he's barbecuing for everybody. He's paying for dinner for everybody. Like, it's those 2 days right there. And women, they'll be like, oh, my kid don't have no dad. Father's Day is about me. But on Mother's Day, no matter how shitty of a mom the mom is, the dad never goes, oh, Mother's Day is about me because she's a shitty ass mom. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, women have this weird entitlement, and I don't know what it is. Now, I can understand if we still acted like we did, like in like 1960s and whatever, 1940s, whatever the hell it was, when women were still very feminine, before all this weird shit started happening. Okay, yeah, you guys deserve princess treatment because of the fact that they were acting like actual princesses, not fucking hooligans. Like, you bitches act like thuggerillas and want to be treated like fucking goddamn Snow White. Like, I don't understand, like, how the two even correlate. Like, are you a thug or not? Like, what are you? Like, y'all be talking crazy 24/7. And so I don't know, like, it's like you guys are in such competition to be men that you actually act like them. And I've said this before, you know, and I don't know, even on my posts, I don't know, y'all, I don't know if I'm bleeding out that I don't love myself, but I do. I love myself a lot.
And so, like, that's why a lot of times a girl will come in a space and the first thing she's doing is to see who's in the room and what the other girls are wearing. Or when women insult each other, the first thing she says is she's ugly, because women compete for men's attention by competing with other women. And I said all that to say, why don't women tell the truth? Most women, not all, but I would say 51% or more women say, I got my hair done for me. I put my makeup on for me. I got a BBL for me. I got breast implants for me. When it's really not for her. It's for her to compete with other women for the attention of high value men.
Exactly. I cannot imagine having to go through this time in the world, this dark time, without my husband. Ladies, if you don't want the fate of growing old alone, you are in competition with women who actually love and respect men inherently. That's your competition. And you may say, well, I don't want the kind of men that would require a woman to love and respect him. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Just open your eyes. Look, it's going to take years probably for you to undo the brainwashing that the feminist agenda has done on you through college, education, through media. But you can do it. I believe in you. Because your competition for men your age is women your age, right? And these women love and respect men. Okay, that's all.
Hi, my name is Chloe and I'm auditioning for the role of the Pick Me Girl. That's what some of you look like when you're in these men's comment section auditioning, posting your toes, posting your arch pics, posting your everything. Putting out everything for display. Everything. And listen, I'm not mad at you, because that used to be me too. I used to thirst trap all over my social media, but I knew it wasn't just for me. I knew deep down it was because I lacked security and I wanted more validation. Anytime that you're posting any part of you in a man's comment section on this app, you just know it's because you have that little inkling that maybe he'll respond. Maybe he'll follow you back. Maybe he'll send you a message. Basically, maybe I'll get picked. But you are worth more than that. You don't need to audition in any man's comment section, in any man's DM. You don't even need to audition on your own account so someone can just send you emoji or a compliment. We're worth more than that. We're worth more than these words on a screen. And every time I'd see something through with a guy that literally wanted me over a thirst trap or because I was playing the pick me game, it would turn into nothing. Ignore the lawnmower because I'm gonna finish my point. He would only be wanting me for one specific thing. And look, if you're the type of girl and you're putting yourself out there because you want that one thing too, go right ahead, scroll past, ignore this video. But if you're a woman that's trying to level up her standards and her self-respect, auditioning under a man's pics, that's not gonna do it for you anymore.
Hey, I am honest to God about to lose my shit. You asked me to go on the date. You liked my picture on Hinge. So what do you mean? You're not replying now. You've not replied for a whole day when I've said what time you'll be meeting. I can't cope with this dating shit. I can't cope with this dating malarkey any longer. What is wrong with them? You are not a man. I don't get it. I do not get it. You asked me out. Remember that.
The reason why women can be so dangerous is because women compete for the attention of men a lot, and it's just like you just don't never know if that's the kind of woman you're dealing with. A woman could have a man at home, a child, have a husband. She could already have her set up, and she'll still be jealous of another woman because a man was looking at her. Like, women are very obsessive in that way. You don't even have to be plotting on their man. It don't even got to have nothing to do with them. And this is not misogyny. Again, this is not brainwashing. This is not Disney. It's not none of that stuff. It's just how women are that haven't done the work and are committed to the work. A woman will beef with you about invisible attention.
Honestly, after seeing this, I can kind of understand why women are upset that men aren't approaching. They go through all of this effort. I mean, from the makeup to the hair, to the, all the accessories and everything. They're really trying to go out there and get attention. But unfortunately for them, on the other side is rejecting men left and right. And so men are like, it's not going to be me.
Oh, I am so sick. I just seen a fine man in Kroger. Y'all, oh my God. I feel like he was looking at me. I was looking at him. But my approaching men days are over with. I don't do that, y'all. I feel like he wanted to say something to me because, we kept, running into each other at the store. Because, when I first got to the store, I was on my phone. I wasn't really paying attention. I turned around. And I happened to look. I was like, damn, who was that? So then I continued to walk through the store, and I ended up bumping into him another time. And I feel like he wanted to say something because he ended up tripping over something because he was looking at me. But then he, stopped, and then he kept walking. So then I proceeded to go through the store. And then we end up, as soon as I'm turning the corner, we end up, coming face to face. So I waved at him, and he waved back at me. So then I'm getting ready to leave the store. And then I end up seeing him, I kind of tried to play it off like I wasn't looking, but I got out the store and then I was sitting in my car and I feel like he was kind of looking around to see where I was. Or maybe I might just be delusional. I don't know. But y'all, he was so cute. And, okay, so maybe I might be able to help me. He had I believe he was working. I could have sworn he had an AT&T logo on his shirt. So y'all, I'm in Dallas. So if you done made it to the end of the video, and you know somebody that's fine that work for AT&T, tell them to slide up.
You're not about to call me a bear too, are ya?
Nah. Cara, here's the deal. Men ain't dating no more because there ain't no point. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Women got everything they need. Jobs, cars, careers. They don't need us. And honestly, feminism done ruined the whole damn thing. I mean, not everything. Some of it was alright. I don't like Harvey Weinstein either. But it's been 15 years of men are evil, men are abusers, we hate men, men are trash.
Alright, I'm listening. You're saying men ain't got value unless they provide? Cause I'm a woman, and I still like men. Shit, I'll see the right lad at the gym, and I couldn't give a toss about what's in his wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
But you feel like...
You just did it. Average fellas don't even exist to y'all. Bet you the guy you just clocked at the gym was 6 foot tall, wasn't he? Look, women only go for the top 10%. And if you ain't got 6 figures, hit the gym 24/7, and own a damn yacht, you're nothing.
I dunno about that. Alright, let me slow this down. When did you start feeling like this?
What you mean? It's just the way it is. Look at dating apps. Women swipe on the top guys, and the rest get...
No, I hear you. But when did you start feeling like you were invisible?
Hell, I don't know. Men ain't got value, not like women do. No one gives a damn about us till we got something. Chris Rock said it best. Only ones that get loved unconditionally are women, kids, and dogs.
That's rough.
Not
And I bet
men.
that feels like, what? Like you got left behind? Look, I was just making a silly little segment about my mate not getting hit on. Didn't think it was this deep.
Yeah, exactly. Men are just tools, and nobody gives a damn about us.
Why don't men approach women they like in a coffee shop or a store? All right. First of all, the coffee shop is awkward, okay? Because if a man approaches you in a quiet coffee shop and there's people there, people are fucking nosy, right? They're gonna be looking. They're gonna be like, oh, whoa. And everyone's gonna be silencing their headphones just to hear in a little bit, right? Everyone's gonna be looking at him, right? That's a lot of fucking pressure. It's not socially acceptable to really approach somebody in a coffee shop like that. So all eyes are gonna be on him. It's a little weird to do that, like socially, and then everybody else in the fucking coffee shop is gonna peer in their nosy noses to see what's going on. That's why it doesn't happen. That's why I recommend people go to bars, because that's where it's socially acceptable to talk to strangers. I know people hate it, but it's just the reality of the fact. Stores is also a little awkward too, right? Right? It's like guys don't want to bother you. Anyway.
So I don't know about y'all, but I've been told a couple times, like, I look mean, I look unapproachable, I look real serious. And I'm like, okay, so this is why men aren't, like, really approaching me because the way I look. I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. But, I mean, in reality, although those things may be true, I do have a naturally looking mean face. But I am pretty serious. Like, I don't have time for games. I'm not out here, messing around, playing around. I'm not doing that. So I am serious. I have goals that I want to achieve in my life. I'm a mother. I'm responsible. I'm mature. My mindset is completely different. So I don't know, maybe he knows that he's not going to be serious with the woman. Maybe he knows, like, okay, I'm picking up on her aura, on her energy. Like, nah, she not to be played with. And I also feel like it's my confidence. Like, when I'm walking in public, I'm going somewhere, I'm standing tall, my shoulders are back, my head is held high. I'm just confident. I'm a confident woman. Like, can't nobody take that from me. So I feel like the confidence that I exude sometimes might intimidate a man. I don't know. But ladies, if y'all go through this, y'all let me know what you feel, what you think in the comments, and what's your thoughts on this. I want to know.
Okay, I went out in the wild tonight, and what I'm learning is guys, they don't come up to you anymore. Like, guys no longer approach you. Maybe it's just me that they don't approach, but what is happening in this society? Like, are you too afraid, or are you uninterested? Do we have to make the move? Like, please tell me, because I would love to meet somebody out in person. Like, I don't want to do the dating apps or online, but this is what it's come to. Not getting approached, not seeing anyone out.
I finally reached an age where I'm ready to hear the reasoning. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready for the harsh reality. Why am I never approached by the white collar black men? It's always, if it's a black man, he's in the army or in the Navy. But I want a black man who works at a law firm, owns a law firm, or, I don't know, is in medical school. Like, why am I only getting approached if it's a black man in these military fields? Like, I don't want to be a military spouse. No shade to the military spouses that follow me. That's just not what I want to do. Where are these, like, engineers and
The problem is it takes y'all literal years to figure out why this is the case. And y'all not trying to hear how to improve. We already know that. Y'all are not trying to hear what a man has said to you over and over again. Y'all act like y'all couldn't hear men. I think one guy was saying from about, I want to say, maybe he said 13 to 30 or 18 to 30. It was somewhere in there. Essentially, when a woman starts developing and men start giving her attention, she don't hear nothing anybody else got to say. until 30 comes along, and all of a sudden that development has stopped, and those looks are kind of turning to where you have, oh, she's 22, she's coming up on her peak. Oh, she's 23, she's coming up on her peak. And so now you have a little bit more competition than you used to have. You used to be the it girl. You used to be on top of the world. You used to be the cream of the crop. One of them, maybe not the it girl, but the cream of the crop. I have enough attention. You know, I would like more attention, but I have enough. I have a lot of men out here looking for me, checking for me, buying me things, until you come up on that age where men kind of start to taper off. And then when you used to have maybe 10, 15 guys in rotation, now you have maybe 1, 2, or 3 men that are now, instead of hitting you up every day, they hit you up every so often. People were trying to tell you back then, stop messing around. You got 15 guys here. Why don't you go through and see which of these guys is a good suitor for you, which is a good match for you? Why don't you go, well, I want a fine man. Well, you got 15 guys right here. Good quality guys. Go out and pick the best looking one. Well, he's the best looking one, but he can't provide like I need him to provide. You got 15 guys here. Look through what each one of them say, okay, he looks good and he can provide. You look good, but you can't provide. I gotta let you go. What y'all do instead is y'all say, okay, he can't provide, but he look good. So I'm gonna mess around with him a little bit. Even if I give you that, you say, man, I dated him and he's not the one for me. He wouldn't provide, yada, yada, yada. Y'all will go through all 15 of them until you get to the best guy, the guy that you actually need. And then at the end of it, you try to come to him and say, hey, you know what? I've been thinking about my life lately, and I think you and I need to get married. And he was like, where was that energy 5, 6, 7 years ago? Well, you know, I was discovering myself. I was trying to find out who I was and what I wanted to be and all this other nonsense. Really just to say I was out there playing around. I strung you along intentionally because I knew you were a good guy and I didn't want to lose you. When I saw that girl coming up to try to get you, I intentionally tried to sabotage that relationship because I wanted to kind of keep you on the hook because I knew you were a good guy. I just wanted to have a little fun. That's all. Why didn't you just tell me so we can have fun together? Just because you're getting married or you quote unquote settling down didn't mean that we couldn't do anything and everything that you wanted to do. You just wanted to date all these other guys and have a piece of them so you can say you tried them all. It's not really about having fun. It's about you going out there and getting a piece of everything. You and I could have had fun. You and I could have built together and gone on trips. You want a trip? You want the bag? We could have built up and I could have gotten you the bag. I could have gotten you the car. But now look where you are. Single mom, 2 kids, and 15 of them guys, 2 of them guys became your baby daddy. And now you're bringing this nonsense to me.
You know when a guy's not talking to you, but he just like randomly likes all your pictures at once? Apparently that's them trying to get you to message them first. And like, bitch, I didn't know this. Every time that happened to me, I was like, look at him liking all my pictures. All he needs to do now is say hi. And like the hi would never come, so I literally never talked to them again. What I would like to know is who told them that that's a game to play? Because bitch, they've been playing it by themselves. Like, I know I'm not alone when it comes to ignoring this type of activity. And not even because I genuinely thought it wasn't ain't shit behavior. I mean, yes, it is ain't shit behavior, but because I thought that like, if they feel that way, that they want to like all my pictures, they could go the extra mile and say, hey, because they're already all over my notifications. What's one more message? And this is not your cue to go respond to him and give him that little hello that he's looking for. Because that is ain't shit behavior. I was only not responding to it because I was so oblivious to it. Like, what other dumbass games will you be playing that you don't know about? Just avoid it, babe.
I'm going to quickly answer this one, and I'm going to make it quite short and very simple for you to understand. So I'm going to break this down very clearly for you. So he is liking and viewing your stories. However, he ignored your question. Okay, this is very simple. You need to understand that some people like to appear interested, okay, without actually having to engage. Liking stories is a low effort way of somebody maintaining a connection with you. It's a low effort way of them doing that. Responding thoughtfully to a question is high effort. So that already tells you what's going on. He wants to appear interested, but he's not actually invested in a conversation with you. Okay, so we'll start there. If you pose a question to somebody and they can't answer you, it's because they were trying to appear interested. They weren't actually invested in having a real conversation with you, because that requires a level of vulnerability, which he's not willing to show. So, your move? Ignore him completely. If he wants to be part of your life, this may trigger him to reach out to you directly. Liking stories, liking photos, sending flame emojis, these are all low effort ways of somebody maintaining a connection with you. They're ways that people are able to maintain a connection with you without exposing themselves to rejection. You don't want to be with somebody like that. Okay? If somebody wants to be part of your life, they have to make a move. They need to take bold action. They need to come in and offer you something of value. Okay? They need to come in with a proposal of some sort. So this whole liking stories, liking posts, it's not going to cut it. So you ignore them. That's the answer here. You ignore them. You don't respond to look unbothered. That can come across very forced. You ignore them. If they're interested, they're going to reach out to you directly. Because here's the thing, when you ignore them, you remove yourself out of this little game that they're playing, because they're playing a little cat and mouse game with you right now. But when you actually ignore them, you take yourself out of that game and you leave them scrambling. Okay? And then you get to see people's real intentions. If somebody truly wants to be part of your life and you mean something to them, they're going to take action. And if they don't, that's a them problem. Nothing to do with you. Okay? I hope this helped.
What if he doesn't reach out, but he keeps watching every single story I post? Nothing, babe. If all a man is doing is watching your stories, it means absolutely nothing. He probably finds you attractive and wants to see what you're up to. I would bet money that he watches a bunch of other women's story that he find attractive that mean absolutely nothing to him. See, men are very simple. Us women, we can complicate things. They are simple creatures. If they want to, they will. If a man is not coming towards you, if he's not making effort in any kind of way, he doesn't want to. We don't need to internalize their actions. We just need to continue to be brutally honest with ourselves. And that is the foundation right there. It's either he's coming towards me and making an effort, or he's not. And if he's not, he simply doesn't want to. This is why I personally like to keep those channels separate, but that's another conversation. But take this information and move accordingly. If he wants to, he will.
Why is a man reacting to all my stories but hasn't asked me out yet?
He's a coward. Why is he watching my stories when he could be in them? Liking my bikini pictures. He doesn't actually like me. It's clear you like the way I look, but you don't actually want to get to know me. This boy be in my DM says I'm pretty. Is too scared to ask me out. Won't message me first. Won't take me on a real date. Way too old for a pen pal. Need another fan or Insta follower. So if you like me, act like it. Respectfully, of course. Hey, look, I know it's kind of scary, even for the guys. I have a lot of self-love, and I want a partner that matches that energy. I want to be courted. I want a relationship based in friendship and mutual energy. I want to have fun on our dates and enjoy quality time together. But that starts with you shooting your shot. And of course, following through.
I just need to stop everything I was doing to come on here and say, as a man, what does hearting my story on Instagram mean? I'm genuinely asking. Because, hearting someone's story is not a conversation starter. And it's not a reaction. So, if you're hearting my story, does that mean you're, supporting my page? But it's a selfie. So, as a man, why are you liking my story but not DMing me? Does that mean you have a girlfriend? Does that mean I'm funny but I'm not funny enough? What does that mean?
I will never understand why men go to parties and bars to pick up women. Go to Target. The ratio is 30-1, and we are already there for things that we don't need.
Oh, sweetie, if you really don't need men, why are you making this video desperately begging for their attention? Oh, right. It's a coping mechanism. It's helping you to cope with the fact that men aren't looking for you. Hell, they're not even acknowledging your existence, let alone talking to you or approaching you at parties or in bars or even at Target. They're not looking for you anywhere, and you know it, which is why y'all keep making these videos, trying to help you manage the rejection and resulting loneliness. Well, I'm sorry to say, but men have finally figured you all out. Figured out that you have nothing, literally nothing to offer to them. Well, except narcissism, drama, and this truly deranged belief that making these type of videos will somehow make men want you. Trust me, darling.
Question for the men. Why is it that men have stopped approaching women in public entirely? Because I feel like back in the day, it was so common for men to walk up to women, have a little bit of a conversation, some friendly banter. But nowadays, I don't see that anymore. What has changed?
If he ghosted you yet still watches your socials, this is why. Ghosting usually happens during a moment of panic, not due to a lack of interest. His system gets overwhelmed. He doesn't know how to handle discomfort or accountability, so he disappears to regulate himself. The part that's most confusing is the fact that just because a man disappears doesn't equate to him actually wanting the connection to be over. When a man ghosts and then continues to watch your socials, it isn't because he wants to repair things. And it's also not because he's gained some level of clarity. It's all about access. By watching your socials, staying friends, or keeping tabs, he gets to tell himself a story that he still has access to you. Like the door isn't fully closed and that he's still in control of the timeline of the relationship. Think about it like a security blanket. Not something he's using right now, but something he needs to know is still there in case he wants it. That's why his behavior feels unsettling, because it's not attuned or relational. It's just him self-soothing. And it's often why when a man senses that you're actually moving on, emotionally or energetically, the breadcrumbs start back up. The checking in, the vague apologies, the future faking. It's because he feels the loss of access that he wants to maintain, not because he's ready to show up differently. So if someone ghosted you and is still watching you months or years later, it just means that they're feeling like they're still in control of the narrative and can come back if they wanted to. I understand it can feel confusing, but silence followed by surveillance is not care. It's stalking and it's predatory. And it's an indication that this person is only capable of a level of connection where he's always on the outside looking in.
Woman in the comments says, what if he ghosted me and isn't watching my socials anymore and he himself has gone silent on socials? She responded and said severe depression, or he could be doing the inner work. She responded and said, depression from what? The fact that I rejected him after learning he slept with other women? I expressed how surprised I was by the numbers. Wait a minute. So basically, I think she was upset. So maybe, so how did he reject you then? Wait a minute. How did he ghost you then if you rejected him? He said he wanted to talk to you. He told you his body count. You said, not, absolutely not. That's too many women. He then said, okay, and went on about his life. Am I missing something? What are we doing here? If y'all come to some sort of agreement or lack thereof, where you say, you messing with too many women. I don't like that. Get out of my face. He says, okay. So now he's not looking at your stories no more. He's not on social media. He's going in a certain direction and you still talking about him. What do you want the man to, you want the man to chase you? What are we doing here?
If he likes your stories but doesn't hit you up, he's not interested. He's not interested in the things you would like him to be interested in, which is taking you out and then committing to you. Those are the only two things that matter when we're talking about interest. Now, he might be interested in you, interested in fun and play and flirting a little bit, and keeping that door open, put you on the side like good mac and cheese. Yeah, of course he'll do that. And when the right time happens, yeah, he'll try and slide through that door crack. But when I say he's not interested unless he asks you out and then commits to you, that's what I mean. And I don't mean if he hits you up or sends you a text message. That doesn't show interest. I don't care about no text. Excuse me? I already said. If he asks you out and then commits to you. Now, if he follows up and hits you up and just wants to be a pen pal, I'm not talking about pen pal. I'm talking about ask you out, girl. You know what I mean? I didn't say anything else about that. So, stop taking him liking your stories as a cue. So what? He likes yours and 10 others. It ain't a big deal to him. He'll like that shit too. He'll send you heart eyes, send you emojis. I don't care. He's not interested. His only interest is flirt. It goes past flirt when he asks you out. If he doesn't ask you out, not interested in the important things.
Look, I know people are going to tell you, oh, stories means nothing. Look, stories is like this kind of silent digital contract between you and this guy. Don't let anyone tell you that stories doesn't mean anything. Everything is intentional. If somebody had any type of connection with you and you guys are now in a period of no contact and they are always popping up on your stories, they're keeping tabs. Okay? It's called keeping tabs. You guys have this kind of silent contract. Test it. Test it. If you don't believe me, test it. Stop watching his stories and watch he'll stop watching yours. That means he's watching you. That means he's mirroring you. This is a very common thing in dating and talking stages and situationships. It's called the mirroring effect, okay? A man is going to mirror you. If you pull back, he pulls back. So if you stop watching his stories, he will take that as rejection. If you stop watching his stories, he will see that as you have emotionally detached from him. I am sick and tired of seeing people say things like, somebody watching your stories means nothing. Yeah, somebody watching your stories when you didn't really have much of a connection means nothing. But if you had some type of connection with this person, then it does mean something, okay? And everything that person is doing is intentional.
So you can see him creeping on your story. I know you see that view. He does not go unnoticed. You see him creeping on your story, but he hasn't said anything. He hasn't DM'd you. He hasn't texted you. He hasn't like sent you a heart or something. And I know you're feeling tempted now because you can see him watching to post things just for him. You're tempted to post that photo for him or that quote or that song. Don't do it. Now, I'm not saying don't post the hot pic. I'm just saying don't post it only for him, because when you post things only for a guy, they know. It's so obvious and it's not attractive. So don't post things just to try to get his attention. It's never a good look. If you just post, go about your life. He's watching, but here's the thing that I want you guys to remember. If he's viewing you every day and he still hasn't said anything, he's either one, playing games, which we don't have interest in or time for, or two, he's thought about you, he sees you, and he's still actively not asked you to hang out. He has still actively not asked you on a date. Honestly, this is grounds for a goodbye if I've ever heard one. Follow me for more videos like this one. Love you guys. Bye.
So he keeps liking your story but never initiates any conversation or anything substantial. Why is that? Well, let me break it down for you. He does not want to have anything with you right now for whatever reason. Maybe he is prioritizing another girl. This happens a lot. Or he doesn't want to date right now. What he's doing, however, is he is keeping his options open with you for the future and just being opportunistic. So he is actually choosing the lowest form of effort available for him in the universe, and that is of a story reaction or a like, to keep you hooked, to keep you interested, you know, for whenever he might want to do, and if he will want to do something with you in the future. And now, if you reply to those reactions, you're giving him a clear sign that you're accepting such behavior. That this sort of low effort is enough to keep you entertained, to keep you interested. And the question is, do you really want to value your time as much as a story reaction? I guess not, right? So what you can do in this situation is just to ignore him. And two things can happen. He will either ignore you as well and the conversation will die naturally, or he will actually realize that he needs to step up because you're not impressed and he needs to do something more to get your attention. So ignore him. Do not reply to those messages. Do not send him any emojis, really nothing, unless he finally sends you a message which is more engaging. Then you can reply to this message matching exactly the amount of effort that he put into it. The less you answer, the more powerful it will be. And if he does not, well, congrats. You just show that you value your time more than a star reaction.
If he's gone silent but still watching and liking all the IG stories, should I stop liking his? Girl, I don't even know how y'all keep up with that mess. I don't even know who like my stuff. I don't even know who's watching my story. How do y'all keep up with this stuff? Are y'all that insecure? You know what I'm saying? Is he hearting the story and is it going into your DM as a heart? How do you know? Why are you paying that close of attention? Why aren't you moving forward in your life? Why aren't you living your best life in the present moment? Why are you constantly looking at who's doing what on social media? Like, I can't even tell who looked at my story. I don't know how to do that. Look, this is what it looks like. I'm not getting ready to investigate. I don't care enough. You care too much. You like that man way more than he liked you. Next. Stop caring. Move on. Let him watch. Who cares? Give him something to watch. Level up out of his league. Okay? Hey.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win.
Here's what to do if a guy you're talking to is liking your stories on social media, but he's not actively planning dates. What you're going to do is actually counterintuitive, because what this means is he's trying to stay top of mind, keep tabs on you, flatter you, and essentially breadcrumb you, but he's not putting in the time or actual effort to try and move things forward with the two of you. His hope is that every time you see a notification with his name on it, that it will make your feelings towards him grow. But this is the most low effort, low bar way. This is not the time for you to try to get him to take that next step and put in more effort. This is actually the time for you to pull your energy back and do less. This is the time to get really clear on your standards and really clear on how you want your dream partner to treat you. I promise you, your dream partner will not be okay with just liking photos of yours or tapping on your stories for months at a time, putting himself in a position where another guy could swoop in, another guy who's putting in real time, real effort, and take you off the market. When you do the internal work to shift your standards to align with the type of man who is high integrity, high value, and actually has a vision for the type of relationship he wants, and he's willing to move urgently with the right person to make it happen, that is all you're going to be available for. And these men who want to just put in low effort or do the least and expect the most, they will fall away, and you will only be available for the type of man who actually wants a commitment and is willing to put in the time and effort to make it happen.
I guess my question would be, what kind of pictures are you posting? Because like one woman said, I'm not telling you not to post the hot pic. That's exactly it. I'm not telling you, well, don't post a quote. Don't post things that are only for him. Maybe that man don't like you. Maybe that man is elsewhere doing other things. How come you just don't leave him alone? See, we like to talk about how men are desperate, how men harass women, how men won't leave women alone. We don't consider stuff like this when women are trying to bait men for attention, when women are trying to lure men in to give them attention. Oh, that's harmless. That's completely okay. The man ain't looking at you. He's not checking for you. Leave him alone. You're trying to insert yourself in his world. This is one of the reasons why women don't want to approach. It's too blunt. You can't deny if you didn't or did like somebody at that point in time. You have to now say, oh, shoot, I was bothering him. Oh, shoot, I wouldn't leave him alone. A lot of times women like men to make the first move, modern women anyway, because, well, if he makes the first move, I can say whether or not he was bothering me. That's why you go back to, well, if he's attractive, then this is okay. If he says this, coming from an unattractive man is creepy. But if an attractive man says it, it's okay. I'm good with that. Modern women like to relax in between black and white. So if something comes to their desk and they don't like it, then they can say, ooh, stop it. You got a lot of women in the comments or a lot of dudes in the comments saying, why don't you just block him? Why would they? Then where would they get the attention? Even if it's not a great looking dude, where am I going to get the attention from? I'm not willing to leave that alone. You have a lot of these women here in relationships, still got people that they have no business allowing to follow them, still following them. Oh, well, I'm still friends with my ex. Are you really? Why is he still following you? Why is he still chatting back and forth with you and you're in a relationship? What do we got going on here? What's up? We're not talking about somebody coming back years later and saying, hey, I just wanted to reach out to you. I know it's been years, but, I've been thinking about life and I wanted to apologize. The things I did to you, I know you'd have moved on. This ain't that. This ain't me trying to attempt to get to you and get back with you and weasel in. This is just me saying I could have been a little bit better to you in that relationship. And furthermore, zooming out, I could have been a little bit better to you as a person. And I apologize from one person to another for treating you like I did. I apologize for putting you through some of the things that I put you. I should have never done that. I'm sorry it's taken me this long to figure that out and to really verbalize and express that. But I apologize for that. And I hope you accept my apology. And that's all I wanted to say. Okay, well, I appreciate your apology. And yes, I definitely understand we all make mistakes. And the important thing is that you get better. And hopefully that's what you've been doing with your life, is you've been getting better and you've been doing good. I hope you're doing well now. But I hope that you're learning and taking these things and applying these things to your relationship. But yes, I definitely appreciate it. I've got to run because me and the hubby, we're about to walk into Target right now. But I do thank you for the call. You're very welcome. I appreciate it. All right. You have a good day. You good day. And that's the end of it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about y'all exchanging favorite pastimes and pleasantries. What are we doing? Keeping the door open for somebody to come in and say, oh yeah, I want a little bit of him right now. I remember the good times and that's what I'm looking for.